Mail on Sunday newspaper has lost its appeal in its ongoing privacy dispute with Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Associated newspapers had been appealing against the ruling not to hold a full trial after the paper reproduced parts of a handwritten letter from the Duchess to her father, Thomas Markle, in 2019. Our correspondent Helena Wilkinson is at the Royal Courts of Justice in central London. Tell us more about the ruling, Helena.
Well, the three judges here at the Court of Appeal delivered their judgment in the last hour or so. This was an appeal that was heard earlier this month over 3 days. The appeal was brought by Associated Newspapers Limited. They're the publishers of the Mail on Sunday and the Mail Online. Now, you'll remember that earlier this year, the Duchess of Sussex won a case against the publishers for a breach of privacy and copyright. It was after the publishers, the online, Mail Online and the Mail on Sunday published extracts of a handwritten letter that Meghan Markle had written to her father in 2018. She won that case, but the judgment in that case was what was called a summary judgment. And what that means is that it was felt by the judge that there was no prospect at all for a defence to be brought by Associated Newspapers Limited, so there wasn't a trial. And that was what Associated Newspapers Limited wanted, and that's why they brought the appeal here to the Court of Appeal, but they have had their appeal dismissed, so a significant victory for the Duchess of Sussex. And we can hear now from one of the judges, the judge who delivered that judgment, who handed it down a little earlier on today, Sir Geoffrey Voss.
It was hard to see what evidence could have been adduced at trial that would have altered that situation. The judge had been, we found, in as good a position as any trial judge to look at the article in People magazine, the letter itself, and the Mail on Sunday articles to decide if publication of the contents of the letter was appropriate to rebut the allegations made against Mr. Markle. The judge had correctly decided that whilst it might have been proportionate to publish a very small part of the letter for that purpose, it was not necessary to publish half the contents of the 5-page letter as Associated Newspapers had done. The court reiterated in conclusion the narrowness of the issues that it had had to decide.
As you said, Helena, this is a significant victory for the Duchess of Sussex. What's been her reaction? Well, the Duchess of Sussex released a statement soon after the judgment was handed down here at the Court of Appeal. In reaction to the ruling, she said in a statement, "This is a victory not just for me, but for anyone who has ever felt scared to stand up for what's right." The Duchess of Sussex continued in her statement, and she said, "While this win is precedent-setting, what matters most is that we are now collectively brave enough to reshape a tabloid industry that conditions people to be cruel and profits from the lies and pain that they create." What this does mean, of course, Rebecca, is that there won't be a trial, and that's something that not only the Duchess of Sussex but also Buckingham Palace would have wanted to avoid, because it would have meant that probably the Duchess of Sussex would have had to give evidence here at the Royal Courts of Justice, and her father would have probably been brought in to be the star witness for Associated Newspapers Limited. That is now not going to happen, and that could have created more awkward headlines right across the world. So that's been avoided, and another significant win for the Duchess of Sussex. Associated Newspapers Limited have had their appeal dismissed, and the judgment from the judge earlier this year remains. Helena, many thanks for that update. Helena Wilkinson there.